Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the Twitch.tv / the Xisuma. It's a Friday, and I had something very special planned for today on today's stream, and at the very last minute those plans fell through, and I hope I can get them fixed. But I have this feeling like it's another problem. I've had lots of problems getting this special thing together for all of you. And as it feels like you're getting closer, then all of a sudden it feels like you're getting further away, you know? So my special stream will have to wait for another day. I've been doing so much prep, getting things ready for it, and now it can't happen, at least right now. So we're hopping on Hermitcraft, and we're going to dig a hole, and I have a feeling this will be a good old therapy session for me, because I've had not so much a stressful day, but the stress of something that's going on has just kind of hit me all of a sudden. Like, I've just felt it. And so I'm going to chill out this evening. We're going to do Hermitcraft. I'm going to finish making my song for Cub, and I'm not going to put, like, any pressure on myself. But then tomorrow morning I have to get up, and I have to do a lot of work. I have to do a lot of stuff, physical stuff. So, you know, plans are always changing. How are all of you? Siberian Wolf, Shinny, your local Psy, Want, Wath, Real, I Love Yuri. I mean, there's so many words there, you know, in the name. Angry Redstone, thank you, my dude, for 9 months. Appreciate you. You are a Twitch baby. Ah, they're not working today. What if I did this? That appears to not break everything, so that's promising. Then I press this. Is this a quicker way to fix it? Ah, my hopes and dreams have been slashed. I have no idea why this sometimes works or doesn't. What other things could I do to potentially remedy this? What experiments could I do on the fly? The peeps came to be entertained, and now X is just trying to fix his stream. Can I run this from here? Don't think I can. I should be able to. Should be able to run this manually. Doesn't look like I can. Yeah, like if I do this... Well, now I can play that emote for you, but as for the rest of the emotes... You know, they were working again, weren't they? They were working again. When did I become a sulfur cube? Recently. I mean, given my track record of changing skins whenever there's a Minecraft update or drop, it'd be safe to guess that I changed my sulfur cube years ago before they even announced it, you know? That's probably when... Probably not when the drop or update came out, because that's something I have historically never done, of course. I probably changed it before they even announced what the sulfur cube was. I think. I'm just guessing. This is how I relieve my stress. By being a pain in the bum. Basically. It's your birthday today, Mason. Happy birthday, my dude. Hope you have a good one. Chinglish Finn, thank you for 16 months. Waiting for Broken Card to come off the ramp and the mechanic to give you a big bill. Friday decompress definitely needed. Yeah, I'm needing a decompress myself right now. I'm just feeling the irritation of stressful stuff all of a sudden like hit me. I've been good all day, and then get home, take care of a few things, this thing, that thing, and then I'm like, ugh, just all of a sudden it hits you. Wait, was it Xisuma with the Copper Golem skin? That seems like ages ago. It was years ago, dude. Like, the Copper Golem skin was from, like, you know, way before they did that update, obviously. It was years ago. Aren't we on, like, the 8th month of this season? Like, when we hit a year on this season, I'm just going to be like, time flies, I know it. Soon be rolling around in my grave. Soon be rolling around in my grave. That just got really morbid, didn't it? I need to go drop like these records off somewhere. They're like hogging inventory space. Unproductive is what they are. Yo, Noah Parks, 90 streams in a row. 9-0. That's amazing, my dude. Thank you for continuing to tune in. Jacket Frackets here for 30 months. You relieve stress by being a pain in the bum. I'm sure you're not alone in that. Yeah, actually, it's probably what a lot of people do, right? Got to be a little bit of a goofball sometimes. Why am I in copper armor? Great question. Because I guess I want to be in copper armor. Ah, what a great answer. Hey, look, it suited my theme at a point in time, and I decided to stick with it. I'm going to leave these here for now. It's a bunch of other record-related stuff, so they can stay there, and we can continue to dig once we grab our iron bars. We got Dante Red Eye 79. 79 big numbers right here. Big numbers. Thank you so much, my dude. Continue your... I appreciate your continued support. There's also a treasure train. Participants save 35% on 5 or more gifted subs. Wow. I don't know what activates that, but there you go. Discount for gifted subs. Gifted subs get to join our Let's Play Minecraft Together server. That's a Minecraft world. That's a Discord server. You get 30 days access. Great opportunity to join an amazing community. And there's an amazing one there for you. Gold armor might be more fitting for the sulfur skin. Oh, you are tempting me. You are tempting me right there. Dale Watt, thank you for your 14 months. Also, let's try and roll out the hype train, even though it's a treasure train. And as you may have suspected, it refuses to cooperate. So I have to go off screen. It was so nice that it worked for a while again. Wasn't it nice? Memories when I only had to press the button once. Now I feel like a dunce because I gotta press it too many times. Hey, and there you go. There you go. Anonymous gifter coming in with 5 gifted subs if you received one. Silent Nukuri, Impernator, Cherish, Mango Steph, and Teju Vliaku with the butchering of the name. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. And this is why I want all of y'all listening to come back and check. If we get any more, you might get yourself access to the community. And I'd love it if you said thanks. I want to check on this bamboo stuff, by the way, because it's probably just sat here doing its job and getting no accolades. This redstone's like, hey, I do good work over here. I deserve praise too. I mean, okay, coal that's like from the previous smelt. So we need an excuse to smelt more stuff. I think I'm going to empty this out for the time being. Put that glass away. Angry Redstone is here, joining in the treasure train. Gifting out those subs, my dude. Appreciate it. Kalia Ivy, Odd Kitty, Milk Jam, Giovanni95, Final Pie. Come back to the chat, say thanks, and if you're interested, ask in the chat. Peeps will direct you to what you need to know to join our community. It's all about the community. We load the bar. We made it so it's super easy to join, and you can just join randomly if you get gifted one. You know, play on a Minecraft server with like-minded peeps, and maybe become a part of a great community. You know. CBY, thank you for 95 streams. One up in that 90 from earlier. Dang, we got some peeps that have been around for years, right? Can't stick long because you got to go to the rink. Have a nice stream, guys, says Tech and Ice. Have a great time at the rink. I feel like that should say ring. An ice rink, isn't it? It's an ice rink. And it feels so strange to me all of a sudden that it isn't an ice ring. Not that it has to be, it just, I don't know, in this moment I'm like, I want that word to be ring. Couldn't tell you why. It's just what I want. It's what I want. I got no idea, like, how to lay out all of this redstone that we got, but it seems like maybe a little connection somewhere here would be a good idea. Then I could possibly just dig all of this all the way down. We'll see, we'll see. Probably just going to have some overhanging bits. When you're laying out, like, a layout, your brain does all this weird stuff about, like, it's trying to make up rules. Like, oh, that bit over there is 3 wide, so this bit can't be 2 wide. And it's like, thanks, brain. That's really unhelpful, because now I'm worried about that, and it's completely pointless to be worried about it. You know what I mean? Hockey rink is round and a boxing ring is square. Yeah, why is that even more odd? Feels even more odd now. Somehow. So when you're walking across this bit here, the view isn't actually that great. This is like the beginning. The view will get better, I think, when you can look down at this stuff, but we've got to make it so eventually you head down. So if you start at this level, then maybe somewhere around here we detach and start to go down, which is probably not a bad time because that's there. Come down to around here, go across at this level, and then we can kind of wrap round and get a good view of everything. And then you hit this. You hit your dead end there. So if you want to come back and see this thing, I'm not really sure where the best place to view it from is. Although we could, but we don't even use this anymore. I could just fill it in. I like the idea of preserving it, but maybe we'll just do that, just go over the top of it. Even this bit here isn't getting used, so probably going to do something like that to give you a view of all the redstone. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and for now I think I'm going to open up this little bit here and say if you want to continue the tour, pop on in here. Now I'm going to make it line up with all of this and rip all of this out and push it all back by 1 block, because that's how the brain works. Now we know what we're grinding for. We'll do the grind and leave it alone. Alright, treasure train has hit level 3. I have to manually do the thing. Oh, it's so laborious. Let's get it rolling. Level 3. We got Thorgil coming in for 76 months. Appreciate you and all you do. To be fair, I think a boxing ring did actually used to be a circle. Ah, yeah, ring. That's why it feels wrong, because a ring is circular, right? It's level 4, apparently. Well, you get to see the animations again. 37. 37 in Poland. Dang. Dang, that's warm. That is warm, my dude. We had a day the other day. I went outside for a walk, and it was supposed to be about 25, 24, and it really felt like it was 30 plus. And that's just the way weather is sometimes. It can feel hotter than it actually is. That's why when you look at the weather reports, sometimes it's got that feels like added. Humidity, yeah, that's the one. That's the guilty party, humidity. Level 3 was completed. Oh, okay, level 3 was completed. Well, thank you everyone for the support. I hope you enjoyed the treasure train. I have no idea what activates it, but 10 gifted community subs went out. So thank you for the generosity. Thanks for supporting the community. I hope some of you that got some have fun playing on Let's Play Minecraft together. Yeah, I think I like that. Just a little adjustment here or there, maybe. And now you got your little connection over on this side, leading you up to this area. We might even craft some stone stairs, I think. Would be nice. Just want to keep it all super clean, because that's what my brain says I should be doing. I once again in this game find myself just grinding, you know, like digging out stone boxes. There's a time and a place for that stuff. I feel like in the future I want that to like benefit someone else. Like I want to be over at someone else's big project helping them make progress. I don't want to have a big project to make progress for. I kind of want to focus on like simpler ideas that can just be executed upon and be like their own thing. So my playstyle for the future is gonna evolve and change, I feel like. And this is the last big project of the music project. After this one, we're going to design a game to be played with Cub. Well, inspired by Cub. I'm sure Cub will play it at some point. That I will probably do on a stream, because it'll be some redstone designing, and it'll be in the much simpler range of things that we could do. But I wanted to ask everyone here who's tuned in. Oh, there it goes. It was a level 4. It was a level 4. I'll play the animation as my way of saying thanks. I do have a question for everyone, though. Later on this stream, would you be interested in helping me play a game? And the way in which I would need your help is by using your brain smarts and your wordy goodness. If you're a wordsmith, like, I need your help. So we might switch. I don't know. I'm just going to see how it goes. If like, some hermits hit me up, I'm the only one online. It's a quiet evening. It's a Friday evening. Everyone's out living their lives, you know? I'm just indoors on a computer. Yeah, if something happens, we'll stay on Hermitcraft. If not, I kind of fancy playing this other game. Purely for two reasons. One is to say thanks to the creator and give them a little bit of a spotlight. And the other one is for your benefit, because if you're into that type of game, you should know about it. Forgil says, "Lo, you're expecting much of us." I kind of am, actually. I kind of think if you crowdsource the words, you'll come up with some great ones. Now, I am not bothered by backseat gaming when it comes to words or whatever. Like, I kind of just want to show off the game and have fun with it. But that'll all make more sense later on, I think, when we get to that. If we get to that. What's the game? Is it a surprise? I am being notoriously me, and I want to keep it a surprise, but the other day I did say what it was. It's called Wordplay. It's by... Is his name Mark? Every time I think Mark Rober. It's not Mark Rober, but his name's Mark. I mean, he shares a name with a famous Mark, right? For some reason, I'm not thinking Mark Wahlberg. I'm thinking Mark Rober. Because there's many famous Marks, right? It's not just one. But it's because they're both YouTubers. Mark Brown, is that his name? The name of the game is Wordplay, and it's awesome. And I'm not a words game person, but I've become more of one by playing this game. And it's because it introduced, like, roguelike elements into the game. It also, it let me, like, I would say connect with my mum more, but, like, I'm not exactly distant from my mum or anything. But we can play it together. It's one of these times where it's a game that has elements that I really love, which is totally not what my mum's into. And she loves word games like Boggle and Scrabble, and so it's like a perfect match. Like, we can both contribute, and as a result, I feel like I got a little bit more wordy. You know, like I could feel like there was more going on inside of my brain. You know, like that little mini Xisuma that runs on the treadmill up there. That guy was starting to sweat a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is probably good for him. You know, like I came up with some of the best words, believe it or not. I say some of because there were many best words. I definitely only came up with a few, but that's more than none. And I'll take more than none. You know what I mean? I'll take more than none. You did watch Mark Rober before. I still watch his stuff. Sometimes I find it a little too aimed at a younger audience. Like, I can kind of feel the energy is just a bit like, I like what this is about, but it's for a younger audience. Which is not really a problem, is it? I think what we might do here is have... Like, something's going to go a little bit different here, isn't it? Because I want to use this as a balcony to look over to the right-hand side. Maybe I'll change the height of this all down by one block here. Yeah, I think that's the better way to do it, actually. So we'll tear out all of this. This all goes down by one block. And then we can create our little strip of iron from left to right in here. Then there's a part of my brain that's like, now you got to extend this over. You see, the brain is just annoying with this stuff. I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to be free of annoying silliness. And whatever we call it. Symmetry. That stuff. I want to be free of it, people. You're so genuinely confused as to what X is talking about, Shinny. Elaborate and I shall explain. I will bestow knowledge upon thee. Also, I got a hot cup of tea that I've completely forgotten about. 20 minutes? This thing sucks already. I like stuff made here. He makes very dry jokes, says Kevlar. Yeah, that might be where the confusion comes from. The jokes have, you know, no liquidity to them. You have no clue about the game I mentioned. Sure, if you've not heard of it, if you've not seen it, then you wouldn't know. That's why I kind of want to put a little spotlight on it. So I might just change lanes depending on how we get along today here. Sorry you're feeling stressed, X. Hope your tea and Minecraft session brings you peace tonight, says Gamer Mum Regen. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well. That's why I decided just to stream anyway. I had something very special planned, and then that's fallen through. And I think just the stress of certain things going on caught up with me a bit. And so I'm just looking forward to chilling out. But tomorrow I'm going to have to do some serious labor. Got some stuff to take care of now. That I shouldn't really have to take care of, but hey, got to take responsibility for stuff sometimes, so I'm going to be a busy bee. And all I really want to do right now is get Cubfan's song finished, because it's basically done. I just need to mix it, get that on the server for him, and yeah, then maybe I'll turn my attention to the next episode of Hermitcraft at that point. Just doing everything one thing at a time, you know what I mean? Are we still live? Because I've noticed that my chat bot just... Well, it's not a chat bot, but my chat thing just had a hiccup with Twitch. And chat's still rolling in, so that's cool. That's cool. We haven't lost chat. What's my advice on using comparators to make magical sounds when playing with Minecraft? I think you're trying to say, like, how can I use comparators? It's about signal strength. So what you need to learn to do is how to decode signal strength. They call it red coder. Right? It's the ability to say, hey, signal strength is 1. Now you got to go do this bit over here or whatever, right? Like, you know, turn this redstone output that I've created on when we get signal strength 1. And it's a very valuable thing to learn because it's quite useful in a lot of different scenarios. So I highly recommend doing that, even if it's challenging. It's a good little bit of redstone skill set to have. Heart Gamer, thank you for the raid. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Thank you for bringing your peeps over here. What were you up to? Playing on LPMT? I'd imagine. I'd guess. Possibly incorrectly. Hi, by the way, I haven't popped in for a long time. Just wanted to say I appreciate all you do for the Minecraft community and hope you have a good time relaxing and de-stressing, says Piggery Thank you. I needed this. I still feel the stress. It'll slowly dissipate as we stream. I just like having a little bit of waffle, getting things off my chest. I can't really talk about what's stressing me out. It's just like home maintenance or whatever stuff, right? Things I'm doing to the house not going according to plan. So I just keep that all, you know, as part of that. But what about all of you? What's going on in your lives? Everyone's got stress. I think I've had quite a long period since I last felt stressed like this. And it's kind of reminding me that you got to respond the right way and just slow down a little bit. And focus on what is working. Hard Gamer, thank you for the 35 streams in a row. You was on the Autocraft SMP, working on some sand gathering, terraforming, and building a nether tunnel. I mean, wouldn't you just like automate those things? Ha! Oh, he's so funny and witty. I'm assuming by Autocraft there's some sort of automation. Otherwise, I got no idea. You have a cat, and she said, as long as she's safe, I can de-stress with playing with her. Yeah, I went past the neighborhood cat. There's this lovely one. It's gorgeous. Just such a lovely little young kitty. And every time, it's so playful. But today, like, as soon as I spotted it, I turned around. I went over to say hello, and the cat just immediately rolled on its back and let me stroke its belly. It's so friendly and playable. And I was like, if this was my kitty cat in my house, I would just be so stress-free. You know what I mean? Just a adorable little creature, really. Just a little sweetheart, you know? You distress with Yu-Gi-Oh!, which basically makes me stress out even more, but it takes your mind off of what I was stressing about before. I think stress can be addictive, and what you said just kind of made me feel like... Like sometimes as a stressful person, you just move your stress onto something else, right? I say addictive, it might not be the right word, but I kind of look at myself and think, yeah, in the past, before I worked on this stuff, like, I could kind of see it through a lens of, you know, air quotes, addiction. It's more like, I don't know, patterns of behavior or something. You just end up in these routines, these like patterns of feeling you mold yourself into, and then you get stuck in them. Heart Gamer says I get overwhelmed and it gets worse. Yeah, compounding stress, very common, I think, that kind of thing. The cat has chosen you. Cat distribution system works. I don't know. I think it's friendly to all because now like other people in the neighborhood have encountered it and it like treats it the same way, treats them the same way. Like it's just a kitty cat that like loves human attention and being petted. It's not a typical cautious kitty cat, you know? Just kind of thinking about what I want to do with this. Like, put a staircase. We kind of want to get down there to say, hey, you can go look at that. So this pathway here needs to start separating at some point. Like, when you come through this door, it allows you to go there and over there. When you come from... I guess it doesn't have to connect to this bit if I've decided that... Well, actually, this now connects from over there. So you can see some of that redstone. So this bit here can be like a separate entity, if you like. That means I could fill up some of this, create a bit of a pillar here or something. So if all of this got filled in... I think that could kind of work, honestly. And it looks like there's some stuff up here that needs filling in. I need more torches. I need more torches, man. Where are the lights at? You have some finals coming up, so you're mentally preparing for that. Good. Preparation. Be prepared. Son Turney, you got to leave for an appointment. Alright, see you later, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Your cat is right next to you right now. He gets cross when you pay attention to the stream and not him. Aww. Something tells me deal with stress is scheduling what I'll do with a problem. That way my brain overthinks less because it's taken care of. Yeah, I can understand that. That works for me too, scheduling. Like, you know, you put it into a slot of time. This is when I'll take care of that, and then now you let go. For other people, it's not like that. For some people, I think until it's taken care of, it can eat you up a bit. I feel like that was probably what I was like more in the past. Like, now I'm a bit easier going. I can let that stuff ride, you know? Pinkin2 coming in for 7 months. Yo, it's me. I saw the stream title. Lol, I'm stressed too. I just got rejected from mental health care again despite still needing help. WTF is wrong with the system. Let's all be stressed together. It could be that, like, you know, funding cuts and stuff like that mean they have to turn people away. You know, it might not be a you problem. It might be a system problem. So I wouldn't take that too personally, even though, you know, that's a place where you're getting help for your personality, essentially. But yeah, those in these times, those kind of systems are under stress. You're moving, starting a new job, going on vacation, and sending your partner off for 6 months of job training all in 2 weeks. That's what I'm stressing over. Life happening all at once, right? That's usually how it always happens. Everything all at once. But you'll get through it. You'll get through it, my friend. Your cat is trying to steal the rest of your food. Dang. Work finished. Now you can take a bath with a homemade bath bomb. Nice, nice. That's like I miss having a bath. I could do with one on occasion. Nice way to just take care of your body, you know? All that heat relaxes your muscles. I have my sauna, but baths are good too. Let's see what's above us. Yeah, I want to fill in all of this. Get it all nice and clean. And then this one here, it's just going to keep falling down, isn't it? Our tub only holds the water for 15 minutes, so we really can't bath for too long. Why does it only hold it for 15 minutes? Like, surely you get to choose when you drain the bathtub, right? You love baths, though you wish you had a shower as well. It's quick and easier and uses less water on a daily basis. That it does. If I had a bath, I think I'd probably use it once every 2 to 4 weeks, so it's probably not too much. If I didn't have a sauna, I'd probably use it like once or twice a week. Right, so down at this level here, I kind of want to sort of block things off a little bit. Like that. Or maybe even before that we turn around, right? Maybe it's just this bit here. You're like, wall it off. I think we're finding some solutions here. So it gets walled off there. We'll probably lower this by a block then. Ah, we got noises in the air. We got Burt Potato for 67 months. Insert some sort of meme here. Welsh Devil coming in for 3 months. Hope you had a good time in Wales. I visited the family there recently too. Awesome, my dude. I had an amazing time. I want to go back already, you know. Just loved being in the Welsh countryside. I've had some countryside days today and recently this week as well, so I'm feeling kind of decent on that front. So yeah, essentially I think what we could do here is start to go downwards and go under. So it's just about like picking when. I kind of feel like if we started here, we'd probably end up somewhere down there. Like if you look at the diagonal, if you just imagine it, it's going to end up somewhere down there, which I think works. So let's pick a spot and go with it, basically. Actually, I'm going to go one further forward. We're going to start here. Now we go downwards. Constant rebuilding. That's the name of the game. It's not Minecraft, it's constant rebuilding. It's the name of the game. Just told you. Get rid of this stuff. You started your master's degree in rational emotive behavior therapy this year, and I'm fighting the urge to go into a very technical waffle about stress. I honestly like the sound of it. I want to hear what your waffle is. Tell you what, this tea is kind of alright now that it's like room temperature. Which is still warm. But you are mining blocks and you are crafting a new look. This is true. This is also true. Dang it, what do we call it? Playing game craft? I am playing a game, technically. Right, then everything over on this side gets to go. Go away. So we can have an amazing, immaculate view of the crazy, crazy redstone. It's all for the views. Minecraft is the big build, trademark. It's the big build. I saw this video on my YouTube feed, my non-Minecraft one. It gets Minecraft stuff bleed into it on occasion. But it was like a big video blowing up. Yet it was, all it was a repost of the Minecraft Squared from earlier in the year when they announced it at Minecraft Live. And I was like, why is this video sort of blowing up now? Someone's just reposted it with no additional context, and it's getting like loads and loads of views and turning up on my feed. I was like, huh, has anyone else seen that like pop up in their feed? We all live in these little like bubbles, and like when stuff happens online, it's like, is that me? Is that anyone else? Who else is seeing that? You know, how actually relevant is it? You've been getting 9-year-old Mumbo videos show up for me. I've had a little bit of that. I've had a few of my old videos pop up in other people's feeds. It's just, hey, maybe YouTube's tweaking some dials and doing some experiments. But I'm talking like literally someone had just reposted that content from Minecraft Live. No additional context. And like it had loads and loads of views and people commenting on it, talking about it. And I was like, huh. Maybe it's some YouTuber who just has like an audience that's not aware of the Minecraft channel and all the stuff they post. Got some gravel. Your feed is just animated rant videos, okay. You've been getting a lot of your really old videos and YouTubers showing up for you. Did you know that like your watch history on YouTube is, unless you've ever gone in and cleared it, it goes like, it remembers every video you ever watched and like how much of it you watched and stuff. So if ever you get that feeling like you want to go back and watch some old YouTubers or whatever, like all of that stuff's somewhere in the system. It's somewhere in there. I'm thinking about redoing this yet again. I'm thinking about shifting it one block further over and having it come down to that level first. I'm just going to do it. Because my brain's like, hey, do this. What I should really do is stop putting down these iron bars everywhere until we've finalised the plan. You know what I mean? That would be brain smarts. I don't have any of those, though, so I'm off the hook. I think I'm off the hook. That's how that works, right? Pretty sure that's how it works. Oh, yeah, and then I said bring it forward by one. That was the other important detail. Very important detail. Anyway, I kind of expected this just to like rebuild a little bit at a time. Just don't go too crazy with it. So I think our staircase coming down should probably start somewhere around here. So we come down to that level. You're stuck here on the island just cleaning up house today. You live on an island? Man, I would love to live on an island. God, if only England were like part of some island or something. We live next to a place called Ireland, but that's not an island. You've been watching the guitar videos. YouTube thinks you're a guitar player. Yeah. I guess if you watch them. Hey, guitarists like guitar content. Who would have thought? It's awesome. It helps that I still watch most of the folks you used to watch. For me, I've stopped watching anywhere near as much YouTube. My selection of YouTubers now that I watch is like a lot smaller than it once was. There's plenty of people I've tuned out from. When it comes to Minecraft content, I don't really watch much anymore. My thing lately is just like trying to rewatch stuff I really enjoyed when I was younger. Because I just find when you just watch the latest thing that's out over and over again, I don't feel like I get into it in a way that's like deep or moving. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm entertained for a while and that's it. So the latest thing I'm watching is The Sopranos, and my goodness me, did I forget how good that show is. Like, I knew it's got a reputation. I knew it was good, but like you watch it again and really just appreciate some of the characters and how well acted they are as well. I'm also, like, I'm near the end of season 2 and I'm like aware of just how you can't really approve or like anything these characters are doing. You're just sort of along for the ride. You're not really sure if you're wishing them well or not. But I'm at this point with like the main character, Tony Soprano, where I'm starting to look at him and think like, this guy's like a bully. He's like, his vibe is just so off. And I'm kind of invested in his story, but I don't think I'm rooting for him, you know? But it's weird how, like, you watch a show, like Breaking Bad did this really well, and you can root for the bad guy, you can root for the villain, because you've been brought along on their story and you see their world and their life and stuff. It's a curious, like, psychological thing, I think, when you're following, like, a character or a show and you wouldn't actually like this person, you know? Am I still watching Kurtzgazard? No, I gave up on watching their content. I think one of the problems was a lot of recycling of ideas. Like, there's a channel that I occasionally watch called Fern, and I stopped watching them because they basically... they kind of get their content from other places, right? Now, there's a problem with this, which is that a story can be told 1,000 times, especially history. But, you know, they are quite closely getting stories from a podcast that I like called Darknet Diaries. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, it just feels like they've listened to another podcast episode and made a video about it. And I've already listened to those podcast episodes, you know, and people have to get their information from somewhere, and stories are always going to get retold. I'm not trying to paint them in a negative light. But for me, it's just this sense now of, like, there's so much content, and a lot of it is kind of feeling recycled. Like, hey, haven't I seen a video about this topic before? So that's kind of turned me off, and I've started watching a lot less because of that. Just this feeling all the time of, like, oh, here's another video about something I've definitely learned about before. Like, it's almost as if YouTubers are going around and just, like, plucking out videos that are now 5 years old and just redoing them. You've been rewatching Chopped. I don't think I've ever seen that one. I haven't seen Dexter. You want to rewatch The Walking Dead again? I never got into that show. I was really big into zombies when it came out. Like, I was watching all the George Romero classics and stuff. And then all of a sudden there was this, like, revival. And people were interested in it again. And I saw The Walking Dead and I just didn't like it. I kind of liked the way they did the zombie stuff in the past. Like that. That's more slower paced kind of approach to all the zombies. Didn't Kurt Kazart sell out like Veritasium did? Different people on the lead. I think saying sell out is a bit of an unfair term. Because I think Veritasium is just an amazing channel. And I think the way in which Derek handed over his channel, not handed over, but, you know, like, transitioned, I think he did it really, really well and kept the value of the content on that channel really high. I think that probably does not work out as well as people would like most of the time. I think he's maybe been kind of lucky to find the right people at the right time to do something like that. But, you know, like, I've seen that kind of thing get framed very differently and talked about negatively. I kind of don't think it's that bad of a thing. At least with what it's doing right now and the way the channel's being run. I don't see what the negative is here. It's like, yeah, that kind of, like, corporatization can go wrong, can go bad, but when it doesn't, like, when it goes well, can't we celebrate that? You wouldn't mind watching Supernatural all over again? I have not seen Supernatural. There's so many shows. There's just so many these days. Leon Eats You, thank you so much for 40 streams. Hope everyone is doing well today, at least compared to me. I figured out that my employer had my address wrong and my mail I was waiting for had been lost. So that was fun to deal with today, early morning. Got it figured out, but what a way to start the day. Yeah, how much like, back mail did you lose? I'm assuming you're not getting it back or something, right? That must be super annoying. They've just got it wrong, and now you got this big headache to deal with. IsoCraft, thank you for the 3 mobs, by the way. Appreciate ya. Thanks for coming in and subbing again. MatPat did the same thing when he left YouTube. Yeah, and good for him. Like, when you see people move on from it, it's a hard thing to move on from. It's a hard thing to move on from. And when someone makes a decision like that, you know, it's gutsy and it's a big deal. But I could see myself moving on from it if something else came along. Because I'm kind of over it all now. You know, I've done it for so long, it's... the number stuff has become a little, like, irrelevant. Doesn't mean anything really anymore. I wouldn't say too much exciting is going on YouTube anymore. Like, YouTube itself doesn't really feel like an exciting space. It now just feels like an established one, you know? Like, God, I can remember the times when everything going on YouTube felt so exciting and fresh and fun. And that feeling's been gone for a while now, I think. It's just become the default platform for content. Chopped is a Food Network show that has 4 contestants that compete for 3 rounds, appetizer, dinner, and dessert, and have a basket with 4 mystery ingredients which they have to make a meal from. And they present it to 3 judges who moves on. That sounds cool. Cooking shows are just something I think I could easily enjoy because I like cooking and you can learn from them and they're just sort of fun, simple television, right? But it's nothing I ever really watch. It's the kind of thing where like maybe you're on holiday and someone turns on the telly and watches a cooking show and I'll be like, yeah, well, let's watch this. Let's learn something. Maybe I'll be the sort of person who's then like, all right, next time we go shopping, let's buy those ingredients and cook what they cook. Like that's the kind of person I am. I want to take something away from it and be like, okay, now let's do something with this knowledge. Let's make a meal. Let's make a dish. Make a hot plate. I like that term. Fix a hot plate. Always like that. Exo, I love your opinion on audiobooks. I feel like they're effectively the same. I drive a lot for work and audiobooks keep me sane. I think audiobooks are great. I think it may just be like content fatigue, right? We're all really aware, I hope, that we're living in sort of content overload times. And there's all this discussion about attention span. I think along with our attention spans getting warped by short form content, I just think we inundate ourselves with so much content that it can be tiring, right? Like I had a great time in Wales recently. I think one evening I found about 20 minutes to watch a couple of YouTube videos and that was it. That was basically it. And I felt great the whole time, and all the stories and things you would chat about, they're all about life and what you're up to. And when you got your head in that like content, in that content world, you know, like when you talk to your mates about some YouTube video that you've seen, it's just boring. It's just boring. It's like you entertain yourself with that stuff, but like real life is going out and doing things together, not talking about YouTube videos or YouTube content, you know? You need an Xisuma cooking show / vlog. Didn't I do one once? Didn't I do a little cooking video? Pretty sure I did. Or maybe it was like pictures and stuff. Hey X, did you watch the Backrooms movie? And if you did you enjoy it? I haven't seen it. And I will put yet on the end of that, but I don't know if I'll get around to it. Again, just inundated with content these days. So many platforms making movies. And none of this stuff feels like a cultural together moment or anything like that. Like, this is something that I feel like I don't see anymore. I don't know if it's like a feed algorithm echo chamber thing, but it feels like there's less big cultural moments that we all share these days. And like, a few things come along, and if you're aware of them, you sort of get pulled into those circles. People are really excited about this TV show or that TV show, but nothing really feels like quite universal anymore. I did. Oh yeah, I did the pizza one. I was actually thinking about one from even further back that I did with HelloFresh. That wasn't pizza. It definitely wasn't pizza. But yeah, I did the pizza one, right? Yeah, of course. I'm really happy with that, actually. I ordered a pizza the other day. It was a cheeseburger pizza. Now, I've ordered one of these from Domino's in the past, and it was foul. Like, I was so unhappy with it. It was just like a sloppy, greasy, dirty Domino's pizza. I don't know why I wanted to order from Domino's. But I did, and I regretted it. But it was the cheeseburger one, and it was just like, ugh, basically. That's my review of this pizza. It was, ugh. How much of this do I actually... I might be, like, digging away the wrong bit right now. Maybe we'll keep this here. Yeah, I think we'll keep this here for now. Yeah, Domino's, not that great, right? Anyway, so the place that I do like to order it from is called Faraways. They do wood oven... they do wood oven pizzas, which is like, you know, a much lighter, healthier way to cook your pizza. And they had a cheeseburger one, and I just had a feeling that this would be all right, and it was really good because the whole pizza was lighter, and the way they done the gherking and the burger meat, it was really quite tasty. But that was the most recent pizza that I had, and that's probably like the first pizza in a long time. Just hadn't got around to eating one. I think the summer just makes it easy to eat less, so you don't crave food and then sit around thinking about what you actually want to eat. That's when you start drifting. That's when you're like, oh, you know, takeaway pizza. Go to all the naughty foods. There we go. That's quite all right. Maybe extend it a little bit here. Just for the looks. The clean edges and all that stuff. Domino's pizza here isn't greasy, weirdly, though. I find that hard to believe, like, because Domino's pizza is chain, right? The idea with chain pizza, like Pizza Hut and that, is that wherever you go, it tastes the same. Same with McDonald's, and that's why this food is terrible, is because in order to make it the same wherever you go, they've got to chuck in all those preservatives. They've got to design their supply chains to work broadly, because they're not going to use fresh local ingredients, because that would make it taste different wherever you went. Right, like this is why McDonald's food is disgusting, and as someone in chat points out, it's a franchise though, yeah, and it all plays into the franchise. All plays into that whole using their supply chain to get your ingredients and stuff. There's less. I don't know the specifics, but the whole idea is you don't use the locally sourced ingredients because you're going to use their whole franchise setup, right, where they get their ingredients from and whatnot. So anyway, my experience with Domino's has always just been, it's that dirty, greasy takeaway that, like, if you eat that sort of food on a regular basis, then hey, your body's going to adapt to it and you'll probably like it. But I don't like it. And I just ordered that cheeseburger pizza one time because I'd not heard of that before. And I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. Let's try it. And it was like, oh my God, it's still a Domino's pizza. Angry Redstone says, I prefer Italian pizza. So if you prefer Italian, try Faraways. It's a chain, but I think its whole premise is to focus on the healthier end of the spectrum, because their pizzas are quite light and the ingredients feel really fresh. You don't get that sense of having loads of preservatives or anything like that, and it's a wood-fired oven. So that's a really nice pizza dough that they cook in that. If I remember correctly, it's something to do with the amount of moisture that you retain by cooking it through different methods. So this method means you retain more moisture in your pizza, which like affects how it tastes and stuff, and I happen to like that. So anyway, they're doing this like American menu at the moment, and the cheeseburger one was just really good. Like they got it right. It kind of did taste a bit like a cheeseburger. But it wasn't heavy. It was nice and light and good stuff. Franchise owners don't have the freedom to do whatever they want. They have to use the same ingredients and processes, says Nonsense. So there you go. You got it right there. There's this brick oven pizza that is local and always does it right. A family favourite. Yeah, that's the kind of knowledge you want when you're in different areas. You want to know what the local pizzerias are like. Some of them can be greasy. Like there's one near where I live that is not a chain or anything like that, but it just does the most like greasy, dirty takeaway pizzas, right? Some people love that. I don't really. I like the light, fluffy stuff. And it's like it's almost like they're imitating a Pizza Hut or a Domino's. And I used to order from there, but it was, after a while, it's just like, this stuff's too heavy. I don't want to eat this anymore. But yeah, having that local knowledge is always nice. There's a friend's place that I visit, and we get pizza on occasion when we're there. And last time we did, I kind of realized that the pizza dough is like probably the nicest thing. Usually, for me, a pizza's, you know, the dough's often a bit much, and I kind of like the balance of ingredients. But with this one, the dough and the bread was so Moorish. I even had some of their garlic bread, which I never usually touch, and even that was really nice. So they something about the way they cook their bread. They got it down. They got the science on that. And I'll remember that next time I get a pizza from there. I'm going to be like, it's more about the bread. Sometimes the greasy, dirty pizza is heavenly. I used to feel like that, but I've gone so long on my like clean eating stuff that I don't get that kick anymore. It's like I used to stave away from sugar, right? But then every now and then something really sweet and sugary, oh, it hits the spot. It doesn't do that to me anymore. I tend to just like feel it. Like I feel the grease and the dirtiness. Maybe if I were like really hungry, because I've had some meals recently. When I got to the top of Snowdon and I had a oggy pasty, it was the nicest oggy pasty in the world. It really was. There was, you know, I could scientifically quantify how amazing it was. I'm joking. But like immediately I was like, this is great because I'm that hungry. I've just climbed a mountain and my body wants energy. It wants food. So it's saying like, yes, reward. This is good. I probably could have had a dirty McDonald's and loved it. You know what I mean? Welsh rarebit. I missed out on having some Welsh rarebit because I hardly did any research for this holiday. I did bits of like where to go, but I didn't research, you know, each little cafe in town and put restaurants and stuff on the list. I think one of the reasons I didn't was just expectations and disappointment. It's like, I don't want to make these plans to go to all these different places and find out people want to do different stuff. But because I didn't do that, I missed out on some of like the local delicacies, and there were a couple of places I spotted that were like, you know, world famous for their Welsh rarebit. But Welsh rarebit, if I understand, is just cheese on toast. So maybe I didn't miss out that much, you know. Also, if someone who's as old as me remembers the 90s, or maybe like the late 90s, noughties, do you remember Lee and Perrin, right? It's like a Worcestershire sauce. I have this memory of them advertising their sauce by showing you putting some Lee and Perrin on cheese and toast and putting it into the oven. And I used to see that advert and then I would go, oh, I want cheese on toast. And I'd go make myself and like splash a bit of Lee and Perrin on it. Does anyone else remember that? Or am I just making up my own nostalgia here or something? Tell Xisuma he's right, is what I'm asking you to do. It's cheddar cream and leeks, Worcestershire sauce and a bit of stout. Now that sounds really good. You're looking at Lee and Perrin's right now. You totally remember those adverts. Sin Unworth, my dude, long time no see. How's it going? You still shredding guitar? When it was hot and it would somehow splash in the oven. It did splash in the oven. Yeah, man. Yeah, it totally was a thing, right? I remember it. I can still like, I can picture it in my head so clearly. It's not one of those vague memories. It's like quite a strong one. You didn't hear the question, so you have to assume I'm right. That's always what you should do when you didn't hear the question. Just assume whoever's talking is right. Dude, are we going to hit, like, the bottom floor level over there? Ah! Full. I think we are. As you can see, I've been, like, prepping so much lately to make this all nice and clean for a walk around. So we're going to hit this level soon. Interesting. Or maybe we've already hit it. Ah, we're kind of close. Let's bring this out here as a bit of a guideline. I'm going to just dig myself across to over there, and then we've got like a guideline now. Going good, dude. Especially, absolutely still shredding. Farming too, but absolutely shredding. Chilling here before you go to shred properly for the evening. Nice, nice. Keep at it, my dude. I am currently like on a break. Injuries just seem to keep mounting with playing the guitar, and I just feel like with guitar every day, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to practice and play along to songs. I need to do a little bit of it here and there, but like other stuff keeps piling up, and since I've let go of doing the guitar practice, it just gives me a bit of breathing room. I feel a little less stressed. So I'm just kind of hoping to get on top of things. Like I'm trying not to add anything to my to-do list, but things have been added against my will, let's say. But I'm getting close to where I can just start shredding daily again. But until I get there, I'm not gonna like bother myself about it too much, because the break seems to be doing good for my arms. It's like I do all this weightlifting and rehab exercises, everything's fine. As soon as I touch a guitar, oh, there are the pains again. Which is rather concerning for someone who wants to play guitar until the day I die. I want to be an old man shredding those heavy metal licks. You know what I mean? Wait, are we at the... Oh, we're at the level. The level is here. If Xisuma is wrong, refer to rule number 1. What's rule number 1? Oh, Xisuma is never wrong. Are you a burger boy or pizza papa? Definitely a pizza papa. Because I don't like burger and chips. Like, that is probably my least favorite meal. I find burgers to be, like, not very satiating. It's just, like, something about beef patties don't fill me up like lean meat does. Like, you know, like a lean chicken breast or whatever, right? That stuff fills me up. Patties don't. And then that coupled with bread, I mean, that's just a disaster. That's like, and chips too. All those carbs, it's just going to make yourself feel really hungry. That's generally what happens when I eat burger and chips. I just feel more hungry. So I kind of avoid burger and chips. That's why you eat 3 of them. That's what people do. Like, if you ever see someone who's overweight munching down on a burger, like, chances are they probably eat that on a regular basis and they ain't feeling full up. That's my theory, you know? That, like, your diet, it's all connected, right? Dude, I hear you. Sounds like some major RSI tendon issues. I must admit that's why I'm happy to go help on the farm, because it forces me to get away from the guitar for a few hours. Yeah, hey dude, like, if you're aware of it, like, make sure you know about, like, what exercises to do, how to heal your tendons. Healing your tendons is about icing them. Muscles is heat. Right? You can do heat and ice for muscles, but tendons respond to being iced. Like, arm yourself with some of those things, because, like, whatever you're doing, if there's room for a little bit more good stuff, which could be something as simple as, you know, each evening just icing them or doing some stretches, like, hey, give yourself that chance to do better with them. That's what I'm trying to get into my routine a little bit at the moment, is just I've had to actively ice my heel and ice my arms as well at the same time. And now I'm thinking, like, I need to just remember this for now until forever, is like, recovery from exercise and stuff, there's many things you can do, and it's probably a good idea just to get a bit of all of them in there. We got the legendary Smartin1018 here for 123 months. Didn't I say legendary? Hello X, have you ever tried to play an archipelago? It allows for people to play different games where your progress in your own game is locked behind progress in other people's games. So everyone has to play their own game to give unlocks to other folks. I don't know how much sense that makes, but you've been playing it and it's super fun. Yeah, I've seen it, but I think my problem is just the kind of gaming I do is just what you see me do on camera. And I'm not sure, like, what fits into that. Like, I'm hoping to play some more games with the gang. We got something planned for Tuesday, hoping to do some more mecha. But that's kind of like, my gaming stuff is just what you see on camera. I don't do a lot of off-camera gaming. So I'm aware of that stuff. It sounds fun, but I've got nothing to attach it to, you know? There's no game that I'm playing currently other than Minecraft and some fun social games on the side. They have Minecraft and Doom. Hey, I mean, I could play some Doom at any point in time, really. Hot and cold water is very good for joints, says Corpse. What I was told last time I saw the physio was that icing your joints, like, sorry, tendons. I was talking tendons. You're saying joints. I'm getting all muddled up. Yeah, joints is probably hot and cold. Helps it all. But, like, tendons is where your muscles meet your joints. And the thing I was reminded of last time was just tendons, you got to ice. That's what you got to do with them. I think when we get down to this level, what I'm going to do is just get rid of the iron bars now, and then have a little path go across that way. And then as we go in this direction, we'll turn everything into stone. And then we just want to hook it up to that area over there, really. Dig all of that down. And then meet it at this level. Done some good digging today, though. Like, this pick is getting slowly worn out, I guess. It's compatible with Minecraft and tons of others. You might be surprised. Yeah, I mean, you got to get me interested in it. Like, I get the concept. I just don't know where the utility is right now. You're excited for future mecha streams. Me too. I'm really enjoying that game. It's so much fun. It's fun, and like I like trying the different hiding spots. Obviously, that's the fun of the game, right? But I feel like I'm doing better than I expected. Especially that Counter-Strike map. That was wild. I just picked something that actually works. You know, I jumped in, I was like, let's give this a go, and it actually worked. I was somehow invisible. And everyone had no expectation of that. It's so much fun. Chimera is cheeky with his spots. Absolutely. It's like a feeling of wanting more of something. First time I heard it was on the Great British Break Off. Oh wait, we're responding to someone else there. Okay. You think my Egypt one was your favourite? I vaguely remember that. That one doesn't stick in my mind so much, but I do remember doing something a little more ambitious at that point in time, I think. I do remember that. I remember that one was ambitious. Right, we'll put a torch here. We'll put a torch over there. Peeps, nothing very much as exciting is happening on Hermitcraft at this point in time, is it? I've done my digging. I honestly could keep chatting and digging, but I think it'd be really fun to switch things up and play something a little different. Right, that's just a marker for me in the future. I don't really need to do anything else here. Let's switch to standing. Let's get ready to restart the stream. X, do you like playing games like The Witcher, The Last of Us, or Red Dead? No, I'm kind of not into games anymore, really. They've just... I'm just into, like... I don't know, the outdoors, music. I've had such an amazing week making a song for Cub. Like, I've spent 2 solid days on it. My favourite things are just music, going outdoors, being with family, exercise, and food. That's it, really. That's me at the moment. It's a strange thing. My creativity is always an interest to me, so like I get to express that through Minecraft. We get to have a little fun with friends, playing the other games on the side. But games isn't really doing it for me right now. Something will have to come along that's different for me to get back into it, because I feel like I've played all the roguelike games, I've played all the deck builders and the factory games, and just a lot of fatigue for that stuff. It's a little bit like we were saying earlier, with getting content fatigue, I was calling it, right? It's just the same old videos. It feels like you're watching again and again on YouTube. It just feels like a lot of stuff that I've been into has become like a bit dull and boring. It's really weird. Minecraft not even your list of favorites. How are you holding up with that? What? Minecraft and Doom are my favorite games ever. Final Fantasy VII would be up there. After that, I'm not too sure. Maybe like a Diablo. Other games in my youth that I put a lot of time into. But yeah, Minecraft absolutely still my favorite game. It's just like, at this moment in time, it's hard for me to be creative because I really need to just finish this project that we're grinding on right here. Like, I'm at that point where I need to like wrap up the loose ends, hit the reset button, and start something new. Can I give you a sneak peek up for the song for Cub? I can tell you that it is a spaghetti western and that it sounds nothing like the last song that I made. It's got a vibe. I loved putting it together. I don't really know how other people will react to it, because when you make music, I mean, my musical ambition, right, is called Soulside Eclipse. The meaning of that is that the pursuit of music to become a Soulside Eclipse song is like when it eclipses my soul. When I feel like I escape myself through the music that I've created. And I do get somewhat of that feeling when I create these songs for other people. I just get lost in it, and I love it, and I love pursuing that feeling. But although I am doing a similar thing when I create a song for Cub, it's not a Soulside Eclipse song, but I love the fact that it's similar, right? I might end up writing something at some point and be like, oh, no, I have to keep this one for myself. I have no idea. Have I thought about participating in Ethos minigame efforts? You think it allows for anyone to build parts of it? I'll ask him, actually. I'll ask him about that. That could be a fun exercise. I would love to compose some music for Efo if he wants a soundtrack. But one thing at a time. That's what I've been trying to do lately. Just one thing at a time, because I'm forever putting too much on my plate and sort of burdening myself with it. Let's get a little set up before I restart the stream here. We're going to switch games, so I need to change the title and stuff. Oh god, that's unbelievably loud. Oh, this is why we must test the things. Oh god, my poor little eardrums. Now tell me, does that sound better? Does that sound better? Right, I'm changing the title. I like this music a lot. In all seriousness, it does sound better. Lots better. Okay, cool. You know, does it need to be any louder or quieter is the next thing to ask, I guess. Okay, so that's that bit set up. The next bit is the game. So here we go. And then you should see it. Yeah, except room for... Oh my god. I think it's forgotten all of my progress from when I last played. You have to go in and always do this stuff. You have to, like, set everything up. I'm so annoyed that I have to set things up. You think it's good? It feels like it's a little loud to me, but I'll turn it down a touch in-game. And then we'll leave it there. Oh, wait a minute. Lowercase... Okay, no. Oh, black tiles. I like that. I'll go with default. Basic backgrounds. Okay, I like the dark tiles. Okay, now what we do is we do the reset. So the stream's going to come back, and I'm going to kick it off for the VOD.